you get it? Is it on?
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another wonderful episode of Taking Over the World. Ed and Aaron. That's it.
That was my sound effects. That was my
That's
sound
your
effects
fireworks.
for happy coming back from Fourth. That.
So how was your fourth?
Well, listen. The four. Oh yeah, get out. I'm trying to avoid the conversation here. You can tell by me keeping my mic further away. My fourth was filled with a little bit of anxiety,
Okay.
a little bit of house cleaning,
Okay. A little bit of self-discovery.
and a little bit of self-discovery, a little bit of like just buying $40 worth of fireworks because it helped me clear my mind for a minute so that the kids could light off dumb fireworks. And here's the other thing: if you're gonna buy fireworks, you either go like to wherever they sell like the babooms,
right.
and then you go somewhere where you can light off the babooms, or just go watch it somewhere else, or maybe like sparklers at best.
You can do the babooms from your house.
No, you can't.
You can't.
Because if a baboom goes up in the air, it's going to catch a house on fire, everything's going to burn down, and you're going to be
That's
in
not
trouble.
going to happen.
And then you bought
But
this this little $40 little fun family pack that had some little bit of fountains and stuff, and then I was like, when we shot them all off, and I was like,
Very underwhelming.
that was a waste of $40.
Well, you got to be careful because you do have that one person in front of you.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
We're not going to say who it is, but we know who it is.
Yeah, I know. And then the wind was blowing that way too, and I was just like, this is going to be my luck. I'm going down today. I'm going down. And then on top of it.
But you could see the Red Rock from your house.
Yeah, if we went like out the back or upstairs, I bet you we could have. We should have just went for a walk.
You could have seen it from your front yard.
Maybe if
In
we
the sky?
kind of corner a little bit, maybe.
Yeah,
probably.
you would have caught it.
Probably.
I mean, you're what?
I was already laying on the
You're less
couch
than a
his
mile
hand.
from the
By
Red
the time
Rock.
the Red Rock already was shooting fireworks, I was already like laying on the couch.
Falling asleep.
But here's what did happen.
Okay.
What happened was
Yes. We picked up a listing again.
we got we got a listing that went back on the market
Right.
because not our clients, but other people make bad decisions because they're not educated on what to do. And so we put one back on the market that we already have an offer in on today again.
Oh, really?
And yep. Somebody is eager to jump back in and make an offer. So we're trying to get some negotiations done there. And then we had a previous listing come back on the market. Well, it went away for a little bit because they needed to take care of some stuff. We're like, fine, whatever. We'll just get rid of it for now. And
Right.
I thought it was kind of a goner. They were going to do something else. And they came back like, nope, we're going to put it back on. We're ready to sell it. And so I was like, great, no problem. Put it back on. We re-strategized, if you will. And then I was like, perfect. Let's go. I'll get a showing request right away. Boom. I was like, boom, nailed it. Here we go. Strategy is already working. And then I'm like, oh, we got to go put the key back out there.
Correct.
Now I do remember I had a key out there.
Right.
And then the lockbox, somebody decided to take the lockbox with them after a showing.
Yeah.
That person we're not naming names or anything.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
I'm not saying who it was at all.
That day.
Okay.
Hold on. In defense,
Okay.
In my defense.
Okay, well, the defense now has the floor?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
we'd like to hear from the defense.
Yeah. When I showed that property, I was told you have to pick up a lockbox.
Somebody told you that.
No, they told me I had to pick up a lockbox.
Who told you that? No, not me.
Mercy told me.
Oh, okay.
Because I was picking up the lockbox from Vegas Valley.
Okay. Yeah.
The other one we had.
Okay.
So I got confused with the addresses. Because that one's off Vegas, too.
What happened was,
So I was
it is off Vegas Valley.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
So I took that. So I thought, hey, this is a lockbox I need to take off. So I took it off. And when I was driving to the other place, I was like, why am I driving there? I already have the lockbox.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we have to go pick up the lockbox on Vegas Valley. Not that one. I was like, well, I already have it. So it expires in a couple days. So forget it. We'll just keep the lockbox.
Right.
So, yes, that's my defense.
So then
Right.
we end up getting an offer on that property. Right?
Right.
And then we were going through some counter stuff and it ended up not working
Right.
out. So kind of got washed away, right?
Right.
So I go looking for this thing and I'm like, okay, I know Ed took the lockbox.
Correct.
So I go looking for all our lockboxes and I was like, I don't find anything here. And then I have this vision of you handing me like the key and being like, hey, I brought the key back because I told you, hey, just bring it back and give it to me.
Right.
So I have this vision of you giving me the key.
Correct.
And I'm checking everywhere. I'm going through the lockboxes in our office. I'm opening them all. And I'm like, it's not here. And then I'm like asking Mercy, I'm like, hey, did you get, maybe I had a mental lapse and I didn't remember you
Right.
getting it, but you have it at your house. She's like, I don't think we have anything
No.
here. I'm like, huh. And like every time I think I find it, I'm like, yep, there it is. It's at the house. You guys got it. Like, nope. I'm like, dang it. And then I'm like, okay, I have a routine when I get to the house. I empty my pockets, right? It's like, bleh, right? I got my little cubby, like where we have fucking wallet, AirPods, go there. Keys go on the hook. I'm like, okay, well, if I had it, I mean, we're home free again. In my brain, we're home free again.
It would be there.
Because it's on the hook or in my cubby. Done.
Okay, perfect.
So then I'm like, I get home. I'm like, yep, here we go. I dive into the cubby on 4th of July because I was like, Thursday, I don't need it. I'll worry about it tomorrow. I'm home all day. It's already kind of late. I think we had a baseball game, all-star game that night. And so Friday, I tear apart the cubby. I'm like, this is a great opportunity to trash everything. Not in the cubby. I look on the hooks. I'm like, yep, it's going to be right there on the hook behind all those keys. Definitely not on the hook. Then I go through my old glove compartment with my old truck where I got smoked. And I'm like, oh, it's probably in here. Done. Then I'm like, wait a minute. We had the key there way after I got my new truck. And it obviously wasn't in there.
Right.
And so I'm in my head thinking like, okay, well, what are my options here? And I'm thinking I'm going to have this thing rekeyed. That was my option.
That's an option.
And I was going to call you and I'm like, hey, what kind of paperwork or who do we have that can rekey this place that doesn't think I'm trying to.
Which I have somebody.
Which doesn't think I'm trying to steal the place, right?
Right.
So now I don't deal with it Friday. I'm like, it's 4th of July. Because here I have a Hail Mary. And so far this year, I'm a 1 for 1 on Hail Marys. I hit the Hail Mary on the garage door opener over at Stallion Mountain. I had 2 garage because what happened? Somebody locked, like the home inspector locked the wrong door that we didn't have a key to that just basically put us on lockdown.
Right.
And I found a Hail Mary garage opener in somebody's old desk. And so I'm like, I'm going for Hail Mary number 2.
There you go.
And if we're going to throw it up, we got to have a chance. So I leave it alone Friday. I drive down there on Saturday. I go at like 6:30, right?
In the morning?
Yeah. I drive down to the complex.
Why so early?
Well, because I was up and I was like, you know what?
We have a showing.
We have a showing at 9. And I'm like, I got to figure this out because either I got to, something's got to happen by 9 o'clock. Either I got to call and cancel on this guy by like 8:15. Like 8 o'clock was like, when I'm like, I got to tell this guy. Like,
that's your cutoff.
Like, we can't do this today, right? So I drive down there. I'm cool. I got my coffee. I get down to the front, get down to the gate, Vegas Valley, where you've been, where we had a little.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey guys, no big deal. Just here to go over to the property because in my brain I'm thinking, what if by a slim chance you brought it home, we didn't have the offer yet. The client put in the offer, then they went to do an inspection because I'm looking back through some emails on something else. And I noticed that they said the power was off.
Right.
I'm like, well, how did they get in if the power was off? And find out, right? I'm like, is there a possibility that I took it back out there and put it on for the inspection? And this is now like 3.5 months ago. Like, who knows, right? So I roll up to the front. Like, this is my Hail Mary. And I'm feeling like 50-50.
There you go.
I'm like 50-50.
There you go.
I pull up to the gate and they're like, hey, no, yeah, we can totally let you in. However, it's Saturday and you can't come in with your truck. Because my truck is wrapped, the HOA considers it a commercial vehicle and won't let me into the complex. So now I'm like, holy smokes. I'm like, I'm 50-50. I'm running out of time. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, gosh.
So now it's like 7:15.
So now I'm about 7:15 and I'm cutting it close, right? I'm like, something's got to happen. So I'm giving this lady I'm giving this lady my kind of sweet, innocent guy approach. Like, oh man, you're right. I totally forgot. You're so smart. I'm so not in it. It's the holiday. I forgot what days. She's like, yeah, man, I totally get it. I was like, maybe I can just. She's like, no, you can't. I'm like, dang it. I was feeling good about my pitch, right? I was like, well, she's like, you could. I mean, you could walk in. I'm like, all right. So if I park here, I can walk in. Meanwhile, I'm like, bro, I'm in exploratory clothes, right? I'm in like gym shorts, a shirt, and like my flip flops, right? Because like I'm just trying to get over there. I'm on a 50-50 Hail Mary if this thing's plugged in or not. Okay, right?
You had to take a picture of it, dude.
And so I'm like, she's like, you could park there, but there's no, like, we don't guarantee, it's not our property, right?
Right.
And it's one, and again, I'm going devil's advocate in my head. I'm like, all right, fine. And she was totally nice. Sweet lady, did her job, makes you feel good about the community. They protect it. So I pull over, and as soon as I pull into the parking lot right next to it, it says, like,
Park at your own risk.
Park at your own risk. It says all violators will be towed. And I'm like, I'm going to park here. My flip-flop wearing ass is going to walk. And then I map quest it.
Right.
I'm like, all right, how far do I got to walk? So I'm like,
it's about a 10-minute walk.
I'm like, from where I'm at to where I got to go, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, that's a mile. Easy.
It's not a mile.
0.82.
0.82, almost
and it's
a
like
mile.
15-minute walk. And I'm doing the math, and I'm like, boy, I'm stuck
in
between.
flip-flops.
I'm in flip-flops. Like, I'm between a rock and a hard place. I am effed. I am up a creek without a paddle. And I'm like, if I park here and walk in, if I got it, I got it. If not, I just call the guy from there. I'm like, I'm probably about 20 minutes from making a decision. But I'm like, then I come out and I'm 3 hours behind because I don't have a truck anymore because it's been towed to Action Towing, where I'm like, I take a picture of it. I'm like, my park here, this is where we're going. So then my brain's like, well, I got 20-minute ride back to my house. I haul ass back to my house, get my wife's car, drive 20 minutes back.
That's 40 minutes.
40 minutes, and we are down to the skinny mini. And I'm like, I don't think I can do that. So then I start going like full blown. Can I find a chink in the armor? Can I find a way into this gated community? Just like hop a fence or do something, right? I'm like, Then I'm making local news. Local real estate agent hops fence, breaks leg, and eaten by alligator or something, right? Like, so I'm like,
falls into a rose bush.
I'm like, screw it. So and the lady's like, well, you could walk in from the Karen exit. It's a little closer at least. So I'm like, all right, I don't even know where the Karen exit is. So I'm driving around. I pull into this wood. I try to get the girl at the golf course. I'm like, well, this is about halfway. Now I'm down to about a 0.4 mile walk. Right? I'm like, I think I could cut across and I can make it. She's like, I can't let you park here. This is for like the golf course maintenance and like deliveries. I'm like, I'd like to deliver myself over to the condo and see if I got a key there. And she's like rolling laughing. She's like, I can't do it. I'm like, all right, fair enough. So I go to that back gate and I'm like, okay, here I got like a 2-minute walk. You know where that back gate is, right?
Yeah.
But you can't get in with a car unless you're a resident.
Right.
And I know that they got a little office there. And I'm like, if I can get their attention, I'm just going to try to like see if I can pull off. And there's a condo complex and there's some streets right on the other side. I'm like, there's no signs. I got a quick walk here. I like double check. I'm like, I'm going for it. This is my play. I am pot committed at this point to parking my car here. I'm going to walk into the back.
In an entrance.
In like an apartment complex entrance type thing across the street. I'm like, we're going. The lady opens the gate right away and she's like, okay, how can I help you? Sweetest lady. I tell her my predicament. Like, I over-explain my predicament. I give her my card, my license. She's like, yeah, go ahead. I'm like, oh, all right, take off in my flip-flops, right? Because now I'm not racing to 8 o'clock. Now I'm racing to try to get back before my truck gets towed with like baseball and softball gear in the back. And I got to explain to my wife why she's got to get up, come get me, or I got to Uber to the tow truck place to get my car.
And then pay the money.
And pay the money. I'm either out for a rekey or I'm out money for towing my truck. I finally get over to the bottom of the stairs and I go, I do one of these like slow motion. I'm just like, dun, 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 dun. And I look up at the top of the staircase and I'm like, there's a lockbox. And I walk up slowly. It felt like eternity. It felt like a stairway to heaven, buddy. And I get to the top and I hit that button.
Don't follow the light. Don't follow the light.
I hit that button. And what do I hear? Your Bluetooth is enabled. You don't have access to the lockbox.
Because it was too early.
Because it was a little bit early or something. So now I've gone through all this. I can't get into it. And I'm like, I could go back to my car, get a bat, and just beat the crap out of this thing until something happens. I'm like, that's assuming it's ours. If not, I'll beat the crap out of something. So anyways, like 2 minutes goes by and it hits like 8:01 or whatever. And I turn on my Bluetooth and everything, and it pops open. Key falls onto the floor. Circle little tag on it. Oakmont, number 1310.
You had it.
It was there. And that, folks, is the day after 4th of July. So We did it. We pulled it off. Oh, and here's the kicker. This is the
The creme de la.
creme de la creme, the cherry on top, right?
Yeah.
So I open it just to make sure we're all good. I do like a little once around. Place is looking like it always has been. Great. Put the key in. Shut the door. I do my zigzag back through there. I can start to see my truck. We're there. We're golden. I get
I thought you
back
were going
up.
to say they were towing your truck as you got there.
That would have been awesome. It would have been straight out of those reels. It was like you jump onto your car and I'm holding on. You got to put it down. I'm in here. I'm in here. I'm in here. Like, I'm like one of those suction cup things stuck to the I'm going streaking right out of old to go. We're going streaking. I'm chasing the tow truck down the street, But that doesn't happen, thankfully. So I see it. I get in. I'm like, chest pumped high. I'm like, let's go have a Saturday, guys. Let's go have a Saturday, right? I get home. My wife goes, where'd you go? I was like, oh, remember I told you I had to go check. She's like, oh, yeah. I was like, I wanted to make sure it was done. And I didn't give her the whole story. And I was like, yeah, we're about to have a day. Like, this is
It's going to be a good day. Yeah.
Good day. I roll into the house. It's maybe at this point like 8:35. Okay. I sit down for about 10 minutes, just debrief, have a cup of coffee. My phone. Ding, ding, ding. You got an alert. Showing time. Crap you not, right? Showing time. 9 o'clock showing today. Oakmont has been canceled. Canceled at like 8. I can't even make this up. I want to show it to you just because it's there. They cancel. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I was like, after all of my trials and turbulations today, I get home at 8:45. They cancel the showing. I tell them, I'm like, you got to be shitting me. And at least I'm like, listen, this could have waited till Monday. Nonetheless, I had to find it. Now, at least I had peace of mind on Saturday.
Right.
But I'm like, I didn't have to go right then. I didn't have to deal with all this. I could have went on Monday when I could have drove my truck right back in there. Nope. So that was an hour and probably 15 minutes of my Saturday. It was wild. It was a range of emotions. There were some ups. There were some downs. There were some cardiovascular issues. It was quite the experience. So.
Oh. So needless to say, you found the key.
Found the key.
And we had no showings.
And no showings.
Nice.
Is it though?
Oh God.
So
what does
there
that
you
tell
have
us?
it. That tells us is that, we just need to have a better system to make sure that we know when they go out. Well, and see here, the thing is because we took the offer and stuff and the lockbox got unassigned, it should have been reassigned for the inspection period.
Who do you think put that lockbox back on there?
It was some guy. His name was Aaron. It was not Aaron. It was my alter ego, Aaron. So we should have reassigned it while we were negotiating through this offer.
Because then we would have known it would have been there.
We would have known where it was. Yeah. So the good news is the key was there. There was just more of a nuisance on my end.
So on Thursday, we both had adventurous 4th of Julys. Different types. So on Thursday, I found out that our system is having an issue. Reporting luxury listings.
Okay.
To the luxury websites.
Okay. So the luxury listings that are taken are not going to the right websites, or
Correct.
They're not being recognized as luxury?
Both.
Okay.
Because they're not getting...
Ba-boom, double whammy.
Because they're not getting sent off.
Twofer.
So,
Got it.
had an agent in our office. So we had an agent that was having an issue with it. We sent it off to get fixed. I went to that person on Thursday and was like, hey, I knew you were having an issue. We supposedly got it fixed for you. He's like, no. Let me explain to you something.
Oh, what happened? We got a new segment called What Happened Was.
Exactly.
This is story 2, episode 2 of What Happened.
Yeah. So, needless to say, and I get his frustration 100%, right? Because, that's part of what you earn into it. You're paying for, Luxury Pro to have access to all this stuff, and you're not getting the access you're supposed to get.
Mm-hmm.
So, I get with our regional tech guy, Jimmy. Love Jimmy.
Jimmy's
the
best. Except I did stump him the other day.
So I get him, and I'm like, okay, we're having this problem. He's like, okay. So what we need to do is go through and see what listings are actually showing up and which ones are not. Mm-hmm. But we have to go through like a 3-step verification process on each one of them.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay. So I had a meeting with our staff at the office, right? Because I'm the team lead, I have.
Oh, now you got. Look at
I
you.
got-
I have a staff now.
So
I got the hold of the butler.
So I went and I was like, hey, ladies, we're gonna have this. They're like, oh no, that's complicated. I'm like, all right. Well, first of all, I didn't even know what we were looking for, so it's hard to explain what we need to do without knowing what we're looking for.
Got it. Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So Friday, I decided to come in, and what I thought was going to be a couple hours.
Ooh.
5 hours later,
Yikes.
I'm working on this, and I find all the listings. We verify everything up through Friday.
Okay.
Right? Okay, through Thursday, everything that was listed in all 4 offices. I was like, you know what? I'm just taking one for the team. I'll do it for everybody. I wasn't going to just do my market center.
I'll get you.
So I do all of them. I get everything. I get the report to Jimmy. Jimmy's like, okay, perfect. This is great. It gives me all the information I need. And I'm like, okay. So now we're gonna attack this problem. So now I have to explain to the girls this morning that, oh, by the way, when you're verifying listings, new listings, I need you to make sure that they're verified on these websites now. And you got to go into this particular form and do all of this stuff now.
Which means more work, which nobody ever likes.
Yeah. So I'm not the favorite person today.
Yikes. I bet you we're gonna have a box of donuts up in here tomorrow.
I don't know if about donuts, maybe bagels tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta save some face.
I got to do something because it just wasn't working.
But you gotta fix the problem though.
But the problem, at least now we know the problem.
Yeah.
So I went to that same person that had alerted me of the problem today, and they're like, hey, how was your 4th? I was like, well, yours was probably much better than mine because you alerted me of a problem, and this is what I did. And they were very grateful. Thanks for actually caring and doing something about it.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah.
You shared your time, and it showed you cared.
Yep. And then you heard about the horrible things in Texas, the flooding.
Yes.
And all the people passing away. So today we're on a call, right? And we're always on a Zoom call every Monday with our office in Texas. And we're on a call, and all they talked about today was that, because they're like right down the street from there.
Okay.
So it's incredible how much Keller Williams does.
Sure.
When it's something like this. I mean, they just turn it up.
KW cares, baby.
Dude, they just turn it up. It's Texas is built different. Cuz like we're based Keller Williams based out of Austin. So they just jumped all over it.
Oh, I bet.
Then H-E-B, the grocery store chain, which is huge over there, they jumped. They had their own response team.
Jeez.
Yeah, cuz there was a bunch of I don't care about politics, but there was a bunch of people that were like, oh, you know what? Serves them right. They're a red state. Which, kids dying have nothing to do with anything. I mean, come on.
Dumb.
They're just being stupid. But somebody was saying, oh, now the president cut all your FEMA assistance, so now you're not going to get any help. And all Texas people kept saying this. We don't need it. We got our own.
We got our own. We got our own police. We self-govern.
We were told today on this call because there's a lot of volunteers and people wanting to go volunteer, and we were told by the people that are actually on the ground over there, we're like, yeah, we're turning volunteers away.
Oh wow.
We have way too many volunteers.
Okay.
So that's a nice. I mean, that's
nice to have.
That's nice to know that's going on. But that was my wonderful weekend.
Well,
You had a good weekend.
it seems like it.
Did you play baseball?
Oh, we did. The little boys. We made it undefeated to the championship game last night.
You know, when you start like that, it just doesn't sound good. We made it undefeated until the championship game.
Yeah, it was and here's my only gripe. It's like, listen, I wasn't super excited to go to Reno for the second summer in the row. If we won last night, we were headed to Reno.
So you didn't win.
We did not.
So you're not going to Reno.
We're not going to Reno.
Are you happy about that?
I'm torn. Like, I felt like after losing at the beginning, I was like, not a big deal. I think we overachieved. Like, we have a super young team. We were 3-0. We played really well. I still think we were probably a little bit of the underdogs, even in the championship game. But I was like, well, if we don't go to Reno, it's not the end of the world. But, like, hey, we're not going out here to lose either. We're going out here to win it. And
Right.
if we got to go to Reno, we go to Reno, And the more that you're out there with the boys, you wanted them to win. You want them to get that experience. And this is the part that I hate is that, unfortunately, with the way that the tournament was set up, it's a double elimination until you get to the championship game.
Then a single.
Then it's just, there's no if game. So we go undefeated and we lose one game. It's a championship game. And the other team that's already lost and had to come out of the winner's bracket, they beat us once, and they get to be the champions. And that kind of ticked me off a little bit because I'm like watching them. I think not that they were arrogant about the way that they did it. There was an issue with the fans, and they were not very happy with me. I turned the entire park against me in a matter of.
So it was not a fan
seconds.
first. It was not a fan first experience.
No, but watching them celebrate. It kind of pissed me off. Like, you guys only beat us once. And I wanted to be the passive aggressive guy. Like, hey, no, listen, that's great. We're both 1-loss teams now, But I didn't. That was cool. But
What did you do to get them going?
So here, what happened was
Yeah,
segment 3 of what happened was,
God.
Yeah, we just had a couple little things that just didn't go our way. We just didn't play our best. But bottom line is, we're actually we're tied 1-1. My little guy Beckham comes up, hits a little oppo shot, left-handed guy. We drive in 2. We take a 3-1 lead.
He drove in 2?
Yeah, drove in 2. We were aggressive on the bases. We had some speed, and I was the third base coach, so I'm just wheeling everybody, right? So we jump out to a little lead there. That next inning comes up. I think it's about 4-2 now, and we hit a ball into one of the guys hits a ball. Beckham got on. He was on second. He hit a single, stole second. He's on second, and Beckham's a pretty good base runner, and he's pretty quick. And so our leadoff hitter, who's just been hitting all tournament, just a great little kid. All of them were just awesome kids. Like getting to know them, because I haven't coached them that much because they're all on different teams during the season. And he hits a shot to the gap, and I'm sending Beckham right. And this kid comes up with this play in the outfield, and I'm like, there's no way he's throwing us out. Like, he's too deep. No, he's got to throw a dime, right? And the catcher's got to catch it and put down a tag.
Yeah, a rocket arm.
Son of a gun gets, pulls it out from under his shoe, around his back. Like, I don't know where it came from. And I feel like it overhead chucks a grenade, right? Right to the catcher. And Beckham, I see him having to go. He's coming down the third baseline, but has to come into the infield and try to slide around, right? And there's a tag, and it's bang, bang, right? And the umpire goes, he delay calls nonetheless. He's like, I think maybe he's looking for the ball, but it took forever. He's like, out. And their fans go wild, right? And I was like, hey, nay, not on my watch. I was like, Blue, no way. I go, did you see where my kid had to slide? The catcher was lined up in the base path, in the line without the ball. Right. And I'm not saying it that casually at that time. Right. I'm hot.
Yeah, you're hot.
Because they've got me going now, and I'm just
they're cheering.
I'm like, absolutely not. I'm like, that's terrible. Like, there's obstruction. My guy had to go around. He can't be in the base path without the ball. That is clearly obstruction. And so I tell the head coach, because I'm not even the head coach, right? So I'm like, I better step away and because they want to talk to the head coach. He comes over and I'm like, hey, head coach, this is the deal. Talk to him. Ask for help. And this guy's already had a rough game behind the plate.
Right.
And I can feel it. He's not getting ready to do it. And I see our head coach getting ready to walk back. And I'm like, you son of a gun, don't hang me out to dry. And then so finally he says one more thing. And the guy pulls this lady who was doing the bases over. And I'm watching her body language, and he's laying it out. And now the fans, because our fans are on the first base side.
Okay.
I'm coaching third base. So now I'm over here on an island, and
you're
I'm arguing this
territory.
call. The coaches are chirping, that's not obstruction. He has a right to catch the ball. I go, absolutely. He just can't stand in the lane while my runner's trying to get there without the ball. No, you don't know the rule. You're out of your mind. And the parents are chirping, oh, you guys are just looking for a run because you guys got out or whatever. I was like, and I'm not talking to the fans, right? Like, I don't get into it. But then these guys, I got this guy that looks like Sparky Anderson behind me in the dugout chirping at me. I'm like, guys, I don't even turn. I'm like, that's not the rule.
Right.
You can't be in the baseline without the ball, right?
That's the rule.
That's the rule. And my guy, you were in the baseline. My guy had to go around. You don't have the ball. Tough bonkers.
Right. That's
right?
the rule.
And so I'm watching their body language, right? And I'm like, oh man, I'm in a bad spot right here, right? Like I got all these guys are breathing down my neck. I got the fans that are hooting and hollering. And even out in the outfield, like it's a championship game.
Right.
So like all the kids are up there, like all the families are up there. And I can see like part of our family, like we have one little section and they're outnumbered up there. And later I talked to them and they're like, oh yeah, they were going like, yeah, they were so pumped. And then when you started arguing, they could see it. And they're like, this coach doesn't know what he's like. They're giving me crap from up in center field. And so I'm watching the body language between this gal and this guy. They're freaking out. I'm like, they're still talking. And she's kind of laying out some stuff. And I'm starting to go from like 50% to being like 60. I'm like, Sarah's like, I think I got this. And I'm like trying to hold it in.
Did you get it?
The umpire, they finally break up, and the head coach walks back, and the umpire, like, he's like an older umpire, too. He kind of looks at both sides. He goes, runner at the plate, safe.
No.
And the place loses it, dude. The fans are just there. I mean, if they could have flipped the bleachers over, they would have flipped the bleachers over. And I'm dying inside because it's like, hey,
those are rules.
Those are rules. And as I turned to walk back to my third base coaching box, my chest pumped out.
Right.
Like, sorry, you guys don't know the rules. I told you guys that was the rule. I could see like my oldest son, he had like a green shirt on. I see him jumping in the outfield like this, right? And his hands are going. And I saw him like throw his hat and stuff. And I'm like, and so later I talked to him like, I was like, I saw you though. Like, he goes, yeah. He goes, I was trying to get all those guys because they were giving you crap. They were saying that you didn't know what you were talking about. And they were obnoxious with the way that it happened. So when we got it overturned, he goes, I went nuts. I was like, dude, I saw it all the way from the field, dude. So, yeah, but needless to say, they got the last line. We tied it up. We tied it up 7-7, and then there's a couple plays didn't go our way at the end.
But they didn't get Beckham out.
But they didn't get Beckham out. They didn't get him out. I won my overturn. They ended up beating us by like 2. They got a couple runs, couple of walks, couple balls that fell in, just a couple of silly plays. And then their pitcher we were doing okay, and I think he was just jacked up that last inning, and
right.
He was good. Yeah, and they're a good team. Like, there was nothing against them, but it's like, when you get caught in that moment. But
did the coaches say anything to you after the game?
No. No, but I felt good about it. I always feel good when I get a call overturned.
There you go. All right, buddy.
All right, well, let's see what kind of stories we can come up for next week. We'll be, what happened was segment 4.
Oh, no.
No. Yeah,
we have to get something on the books this week. I'm gone next week, so Friday we'll probably do another recording. Thursday or Friday.
We got a couple days to light this world on fire.
Let's go. Let's get it done.